Assalamu alaikum. Today, inshallah, we are going to continue our lessons in the marketing for hospitality and tourism. Our lesson today is about the STP framework, or what we call the market segmentation, targeting, and positioning. And as we used to, starting with this quote, the mythological homogeneous America is gone, where we are mosaic of minorities, which means this is very close to our lesson today. Homogeneous means similar, which he refers to that America was before homogeneous or similar people and similar culture and behavior and so on. But now it's different. We are a mosaic of minorities. Mosaic is like the artistic small pieces used arts and so on. Minorities means the groups of people. How this quote is related to our lesson today? We are going to learn how to explain the market segmentation and identify the several possible bases for segmenting markets, also to list and distinguish among the requirements for the effective segmentation and to outline the process of evaluating the market segments and to illustrate the concept of positioning for competitive advantage and discuss choosing and implementing a positioning strategy. So let's recall and remember together that markets is the all the actual and the potential buyers of a product or service. So we're talking about the actual buyers who buy the product or service now in the present time and the potential buyers that we are looking for the future buying decisions. So the STP marketing model, or the S is for the segmentation, T is for targeting, and P for positioning. Segmentation means grouping. يعني segment is like a group of people. Dividing the market into distinct groups or different groups of customers, this means segmentation. To divide the market, you have now the market, you are a company producing a product or a service. So you have to divide your market into different groups of customers, and then after this you have to target. Targeting means selecting the most attractive segment. So you have the market is divided into 10 segments, for example. So you have to target about 4 or 5 segments which are the most attractive segments to focus your marketing on them. Okay, and then positioning, which means to determine, after you select the attractive segments, you determine how to position your product for each target segment. This is positioning, to determine how to position your product for each target segment or for each selected segment of these segments in the market. So this is simply the three definitions of STP, or segmentation, targeting, and positioning. We'll now study each one in details. We'll start this lesson about segmentation, the biggest portion, and then next lesson we'll continue for targeting and positioning. So market segmentation, as we see now, as marketing managers have long used market segmentation to separate the market into smaller and relatively homogeneous or similar groups. So a simple definition of market segmentation is to pursuing a market strategy whereby the total potential market is divided into homogeneous, similar subsets of or a groups of customers, each of these groups responds differently to the marketing mix of the organization. You remember the marketing mix mean the product, the price, the place, and the promotion, and we will talk about this in details later. So, for example, a national fast food chain like مثلا Evos or Octiba Lavash or whatever should take into consideration the differences among individuals living in different regions of Uzbekistan, for example. So when it opens in Tashkent, it's different than when it opens in Samarkand or Bukhara or Andijan or whatever, and so on. So in addition to this geographic location, the firms must also consider the differences in the lifestyle and the consumer behavior and so on, all of which add a special challenge to the marketing of the product service mix for hospitality and tourism organizations, uh, which we focus on our lesson. So, for airlines, for example, have been successful at uh, segmenting based on price sensitivity and frequency of use. As within many aircraft today, you will find three levels of service: the first class, the business class, and the coach. So each level offers differences in seat size, in comfort, the level of amenities, and the ratio of flight attendants to passengers. So the individual consumer is able to select the level of service desired and is charged a different price for each. So how can these airlines, make many different levels of service by segmenting the market and offers different service for each segment of this market. So why it is desirable to segment the market? Why companies should do this? The basic premise of segmentation is to allocate the limited resources. Whatever your size of the company and the size of the company and so on, the resources will be limited. So to better allocate these limited resources so that the return on investment can be maximized. So you focus on these better segments that can maximize the profits and the returns of the company, and don't pay attention for these segments that they cannot maximize your profit. So using the market segmentation, companies can identify those market segments that are heavy users of their products and services, and the segments that hold little potential for using a company's products receive little or no attention. So you don't have to waste your resources or your attention on these little potential groups or segments. So the marketing resources that are available are not wasted chasing after market segments with little sales potential. So when the market is segmented, different product service mixes can be promoted to meet the needs of the different segments. For example, a hotel's bar and restaurant can be used to attract a variety of market segments by varying the type of entertainment offered. He can increase his or attract the many segments by مثلا management could try to increase the sales volume by establishing specific nights of the week, such as a one day or one night for the jazz night, another night for oldies night, another one for country night, blues night, and so this is different kind of music that the band uh, play in this restaurant of the hotel. So uh, different segments of consumers have different preferences according to this. So each segment will come to you in the day allocated to this kind of music. So through the week, you maximize your returns and so on. So each of these events offers a specific type of entertainment that appeals to a specific client. So marketing manager, this is the main concept of the market segmentation with some examples for tourism and hospitality and travel industry. So marketing managers can use five basic types of variables when segmenting the consumer markets. How can we make this segmentation after we understand the concept? There is a geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, and behavior segmentation. We can see here, for example, these figures. We can see the first one is a non-segmented market, which is the whole market is a whole group. The second figure, we can see a market segmented by age. So we can see a segment with the young people from 18 to 34. Another segment is for people who are 35 to 49. And C is the people above 49. Also, we can see another segmentation according to the income. The market segmented by income, we can see here the H segment is the high income consumers, M is the moderate income consumers, and L for the low income consumer. We can also make a market segmented by two variables like age and income. As you can see here, the consumers above 49 years with high income and so on. So when we make the segmentation according to the geographic variable, dividing the market into different geographic units by nations, states, regions, countries, cities, neighborhoods, and so on. The companies can divide the market according to the location and the geographic and so on. What does this mean? As the geographic variables are used extensively by the print and broadcast media to define and describe their readers and audience. It is also vital to know the geographic areas your business comes from. For example, segmenting a hotel's market based on the origin of the guests by using their zip codes is an effective way to identify those areas that merit the heaviest concentration of advertising and promotion. A hotel receives a lot of clients from different countries and so on. So according to this, he can change his promotional or advertising strategy to focus on the heavy users of the heaviest concentration of this country that he has more clients comes from this country. Second is the demographic segmentation, which is dividing the market into groups based on a demographic variables. Demographic variables like the age, the gender, male or female, the income, high or low, the occupation, and their jobs, and so on. So when these variables are used in defining consumers within the hospitality and tourism industry, certain trends emerge. For example, as family size increase, the number of times per week that a family dines outside the home tends to decrease. Also, when families do have dinner out, their choice of restaurant changes as the family makeup changes. Maybe the children take the decision where to have dinner and so on. If a firm chooses to target the senior market, the older people, it should determine the attributes that are important to this market segment in purchasing its types of products and services. Then products and services can be designed and marketed specifically to them. For example, مثلا, hotels should provide luggage carts or bill service so the older people can get help with heavy luggage. Also in rooms should be wide easel telephones and remote controls with larger numbers. Also the simple alarm clocks with large numbers and easy to use facilities in the bathroom, including bars near the toilet and the bath tubes that can be used for getting up and down. And similarly, in the restaurants also, they should provide menus with large print so they can read. Also, meals that are healthy and have smaller portions and adequate lighting so that seniors can read the menus. Finally, in hospitality and tourism firms also should realize that seniors like to travel in tour groups for companionship and security. They are very value conscious and they require frequent stops for resting, eating, using restrooms, facilities, and so on. Third, the psychographic segmentation, which means dividing the buyers into different groups based on social class, lifestyle, personality characteristics, and so on. So psychographics is used primarily to segment markets, but it can be used for other purposes as well, like it's useful when selecting the most effective advertising vehicles, when designing advertising and promotion messages. For example, the tour operators could design various overseas tour packages that would appeal to different social value groups. So psychographics following these characteristics, generally they may be viewed as the practical application of behavioral and social science to marketing research, if you remember, and also more specifically, it seeks to describe the human characteristic of consumers that may have bearing on their response to products, packaging, advertising, promotion, public relations efforts. So such variables may range from self-concept and lifestyle to attitudes, interests, opinions, as well as perceptions of product attributes. Fourth is the behavior segmentation, in which buyers are divided into groups based on the knowledge, attitude, use, or response to the product. And the best starting point for building marketing segments. Because the types of behavior segmentation contain special occasion segmentation, benefits sought, user status, usage rate, loyalty status, and buyer readiness stage. To understand this more, the behavioral segmentation focuses on the behaviors that consumers exhibit in the marketplace. For example, are the consumers loyal to my product, or they easily persuaded by competitors, marketing, communications, and advertising and promotions, and so on? Or how frequently do they have dinner out? Would they be considered light or medium or heavy users of the various types of hospitality products? When they travel on business, and at what types of lodging facilities do they stay? When they travel for pleasure, do they stay at same type of lodging facilities as when they travel on business? So one of the best uses of the behavioral variables is to identify those individuals who are heavy users, meaning that they dine out frequently, many times have different outside, stay in hotels many more nights per year than the average person, or account for a large percentage of air travel. So if these individuals can be identified, then marketing plan can be formulated to increase loyalty and frequency of use even further. For example, most airlines offer a frequent traveler program to encourage brand loyalty. Within each program are varying levels of membership. Anyone can join, but the rewards are commensurate with the level of use, as the airline miles can be redeemed for free flights or a variety of other travel services. When you join this program, for example, you are traveling many times and using flights and so on, you can join this program. So they calculate each time you flight how many miles you travel after and a specific amount of miles. You have a reward or something like that, like a free flight or many or more free services مثلا as the same flight and so on. So many hotels and restaurants offer similar programs, and often hotels or airlines develop strategic alliances and combine their programs. Also, you can see this for a simple example in the Karzinka card, for example. You make this card and they register your buying and purchases every time you buy these consuming stuff to make what? So you are a heavy user, reality, and to guarantee the frequency of using the service and so on. So each year, more and more research is undertaken to help companies more fully understand the consumer behavior, and the behavioral variables represent an excellent segmentation tool for as data are collected concerning the manner in which consumers actually behave in the marketplace. Information will allow hospitality managers to gain a better understanding of consumer behavior. When we talk about consumer behavior, it's something psychological. If you have this Karzinka card, for example, uh, before without thinking, you go when you have to buy some stuff, you go to Karzinka because you only have this card. So you want to use it, and so on. You want to increase your points and so on. So it's something behavioral. As marketing managers gain a better understanding of what motivates the consumers to buy, it will facilitate the development of product service mix that will better satisfy the needs of the consumers. So this there's there is also some requirements for the effective segmentation. After we're making this segmentation, when any segmentation efforts are undertaken, there is four criteria should be used to evaluate the effectiveness of the market segmentation strategy, which are the measurability, accessibility, substantiality, and actionability, as each one is explained here in details. When we talk about substantial, means that the segments are large or profitable enough to serve. So you have to select to target a large segment, a profitable segment. So 2 decades before 20 years, very few restaurants had sections of their menus dedicated to healthier foods because they weren't enough customers to justify it. But now, even fast food restaurants have added healthy menu items, and today many restaurants have items targeting a specific diet segments. Why? Because these segments of people who are following a healthy diet or so are getting larger segments. So this is what we mean by substantial. Measurable, which means the size, the purchasing power, the profiles of segments can be measured. As each of the segments must pass the measurability test, measurability should be assessed from two perspectives: the overall size of the target market segment and the projected total demand or purchasing power of the target segment. Then the accessibility, as segments can be effectively reached and services. Okay, it must be possible to reach the large target market segments through a variety of marketing communication efforts. So, marketing communication can include a wide variety of approaches, including but not limited to the advertising, the promotion, the marketing, telemarketing, personal selling, and so on. So, without accessibility, there is very little reason for segmenting the target market. Maybe it is a potential market, good market, large market, and so on, but there is no access to this market. So a major purpose for segmenting the market is to isolate viable segments of potential business and to direct market communication efforts related to a specific aspect of the product service mix towards these segments. And without accessibility, this is not possible, and segmenting the target market is of little value. Finally, the action. Effective programs can be designed to attract and serve these segments, as firms must be able to create marketing programs that are effective in attracting buyers from the market segments. In other words, the customer within a particular market segment should share similar characteristics, while those in different segments should vary in terms of their characteristics. For example, if a restaurant offers an early bird special, it should appeal to certain target segments and not others. Early birds, specials means early birds who are the people who wake up early in the morning and 5 or 6 o'clock they go out and have a breakfast before work or so on. So this makes some offers for these people. Also, families and senior citizens, older people, might be willing to eat earlier to save money and to avoid crowds, whereas the consumers in other segments aren't as price sensitive, they don't care about price and so on. They aren't willing to compromise on convenience for a discount. So, if all consumers reacted the same to a firm's marketing program, then there wouldn't be any need to segment the market. Finally, the market segmentation can be based on the benefits that consumers are seeking when they purchase a product. Once a firm has determined the benefits sought by consumers, It can use this information to design products and services and to create promotional materials that focus on these benefits. يعني some consumers benefits are in the price, others are in the time, and so on. Market research can be used to identify the benefits that are important to various types of consumers. This marketing information allows management to segment the market based on the benefits sought, as well as demographic, psychographic, or behavioral variables also. For example, in our travel and hospitality and tourism context, airline segment based on the benefits sought by consumers. Business travelers, for example, are most concerned about the convenience when choosing flights. They will make reservations at the last minute and want to travel at a convenient time with short routes. So they don't care about money, they care about timing and convenience and so on. But the leisure travelers who are going for fun and so on will book further ahead and sacrifice some convenience to get a better price because it is the most important benefit for them. Also, similarly, airlines offer first class and business class seats with additional amenities for a higher price, and hotels also offer a concierge or business level room for consumers who want additional amenities at a higher price. So here we finished our lesson today about segmentation in our model of the STP or segmentation and targeting and positioning framework. We talk about segmentation, dividing the market into distinct groups of consumers. Next, after dividing the markets into groups, we will see next lesson how to select the most attractive segments to focus our marketing on, which is targeting, and also how to determine how to position our product to for each target segment. So see you next lesson, inshallah. Goodbye.